I love it when my friends see my characters and they empathize with them, they relate to them, and it holds a special place in their heart. In this lesson, we're going to talk about faces and expressions, things featuring the eyes and the mouth. So, the reason why expressions and emotions are highly important in animation is because animation is a very expressive form of medium, and characters express and emote with, facial expressions or poses. So with that in mind, we're going to draw different expressions for our characters. I want to draw 5 expressions because I have these 5 expressions in mind that are great for just character design in general. So the first one is neutral. This means a character in their resting expression. It's just a very standard resting emotion. And then the second one will be our character happy. Next one will be our character angry. And then the last 2 are sad and surprised. Now, let's start with our neutral expression. So this means this character in its resting pose. So you can be creative depending on what your character design is. Maybe the character only shows its eyes. There's no mouth yet. And this is a creative decision that I'm working with. And this is where it's like limbs will go. Okay, neutral. Now let's look at happy. What would that look like? And when I do expressions, I like to whip out my phone or a mirror, set the camera on selfie mode, and just practice expressions. Just to see those subtle nuances my face is making. And this is going to help me give clues on how to draw some of these shapes. So when I look at myself and I do happy, I notice that my eyes kind of squint a bit. And it was closed like going upwards. So I'm going to give that robot squinty eyes with an arc going upwards. And then maybe a mouth. I'm thinking, should the mouth be wide open? Or should it be closed like this? I want to do wide. I think that's super clear to me. You decide. All right, so now I'm going to go for, what's my next expression? Angry. Okay, I'm just going to take pictures of my face doing all these expressions right now. So angry. Next is sad. Okay, surprised. I think those 3 are pretty important. I might take liberties with these expressions because I'm human, so I have limitations. I also have big cheeks, and that also prevents me from expressing the corners of my mouth. So I'm going to cheat that a bit. I would also recommend you to use other references too. So I don't have any references loaded up, but if you have let's say your favorite cartoons or animation, load up expressions of those characters on a separate screen and use that as a guide to sort of figure out what kind of shapes that you want for your character design. So let's do angry. Okay, this character doesn't have a nose, but noses sell the angry expressions really well. But I noticed that my eyebrows go down, and this is a decision that you might have to make. And that's the problem solving of character design too. It's like, what's appropriate, because I can get away with the eyes slanted like this. This feels pretty angry to me, but then I can also sell even more by adding brows to it. And I noticed that there's a tension on my eyebrows to really sell that. And I noticed that one of my lips is quivering up to sell that asymmetry. And there's tense there too. So we have a version of an angry expression. And again, this is where the limbs will go. Okay, that's angry. And then the next one, sad. I know when I'm sad, my head drops. And if I was drawing this character's shoulders, that also plays a role in the expressions. When I'm angry, I tense up. When I'm sad, I drop down. And, shoulders help sell the attitude and expressions of things. So, sad. Let's see what that looks like. eyes arching down, eyebrows sort of tense. And when I do tension, I really indicate the creases of the lines or the little muscles in my eyebrows to really help solve that. And then the character's mouth arching downwards. I could even sell this even more by being a bit more creative. Let's say I give this character a teardrop. Because, I mean, it's got a very graphic user interface for a face. All right, now let's do surprise. So for this last expression, I could be experimental and maybe have the head stretch, just like my head is stretching in my reference. You notice that my head is a bit tilted, but one thing for sure is that my eyes are just like fully open. And I'll use the shape of my own mouth for my reference to show that. I mean, I could like break design a bit and make it really wide. And just keep playing with those shapes. And there we have it. We have very rough versions of some of these expressions. So I want to show you the expressions I did for the samurai character. The samurai character is human, so it was easy for me to reference this character because there's a lot of similarities with my face and his face. But I also got to be a bit more playful and expressive with the eyebrows and the mustache that this character has. Like if, let's say, a character is startled, the mustache goes all frenzied. And when it's sad, maybe the mustache drops down. But all of these expressions that I have all come from a place where I'm looking at myself and studying from life. One of my favorite parts about character design is just doing facial expressions because you can get really specific with them. So I'm going to load up some examples of that, of what I've done in the past. So again, I've explored different styles of animation. Some of them are more realistic, some of them are more detailed, some of them are a lot more cartoony, for example. So I'm gonna load that up. Some of them are just are playful. Sometimes I'm dealing with characters that are not human. So you also have to be creative with how can you show believable human-like expressions to a character that's not human. So you have to really think about that problem-solving element that I kept talking about earlier. Just a bunch of different explorations of my characters. So doing expressions or expressions in general are important for characters because characters emote, they have feelings, and they have to be able to show that visually. Some characters show it differently than others. Some characters are more exaggerated than others. But what's important is that when characters express and when they achieve a goal, they express, when they interact with each other, there's so many different emotions being expressed, and that communicates story.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest videos.